In this demonstration, I'm going to explain the CSS box model. All elements can be considered as boxes. In CSS, the term box model is used when talking about design and layout. The box model allows us to add border around elements and to define space between elements. And then this image shows the box model and the different parts. The content of the box where text and images appear. Padding clears an area around the content. The padding is transparent. Border, a border that goes around the padding and content. Margin clears an area outside the border. The margin is transparent. So, using Pirates Pete's website, I'll show you what each of these things mean. In this body div, I'm going to create another div called box. And inside this div, I'm going to put this paragraph. Now let's go into styles where we'll edit this div. We'll start by just positioning the div in the middle of the body div so that we can work with it. Now we've got this box div. In the middle here. Now we're going to go through the CSS box model. We'll start by margin. Margin is the distance, again, that clears the area outside the border. So from this space and outwards will be the margin. If we have a margin, add a margin, you'll see how this box is affected. It moves in and down 20 pixels. Margin adds on these top left and right. Next we have a border. A border goes around the padding and the content. If we have a border of 10 pixels, you can see that the border is going around the content. We haven't added padding yet, however, you can see that the border matches right up with this red outline. Now we'll add padding. Padding is the space between this paragraph and the outside border. If we add padding of 10 pixels, you'll see that this paragraph has been moved in 10 pixels from the outside border. So from this content going out, we have 10 pixels to the border, a border of 10 pixels, and then 20 pixels of margin to the positioning, which is 50 pixels from the left and to the right. In full screen, you can see how that changes. All those values are still the same, however, because we've positioned it from the left and the right, it becomes longer. But there's still 10 pixels between the padding and this edge, the border, and the margin. Padding is really important because it keeps space between the content of the div and the edge of the div. Without padding, there'll be no space. And that's the explanation of the CSS box model. This is a really good reference to learning it, and also by just on your own editing and experimenting with different sizes of padding and margin, you'll be able to learn it better on your own.